I got abs despite not doing a single ab workout for years. And so I think back to my former self who was on his bedroom floor doing those 5-minute ab workouts you see on YouTube. And I wish I could have told him everything that I'm going to say in this video so that he would get abs so much faster. So when it comes to getting abs, the most important thing is your body fat. And that's quite a simple concept. You probably already knew that. But when I was doing those 5-minute ab workouts, doing crunches every single day for weeks on end, expecting to have a six pack at the end of that, that was just completely wrong, because you can do all of the ab workouts in the world. In fact, you can have the strongest set of abs on this earth, but if it's covered up by too much fat, then you can't actually see your six pack. And that is just the facts. So when I was doing abs for weeks on end, and when I looked in the mirror and saw nothing had changed, it was because I was doing nothing with my diet, nothing with my body fat levels to actually be able to show my abs off. My abs were covered in fat. And the body fat problem is exacerbated by the fact that belly fat is the last area on your body that fat will be lost from. So if you go on a diet, you will lose fat first from your face, from your back, from your arms, from your shoulders. So you actually have to be consistent with your diet for a long enough amount of time to the point where your belly fat will actually come off. And only then is when you will see your abs. So how do you actually lose fat? Well, you have to be in a calorie deficit, and that is just the facts. So you need to be intaking less calories than you are expending every day. But what I think is often overlooked is food quality, because people will get obsessed with just making sure that the amount of calories they're eating is less than a certain number. And when all you're focused on is the number, then what you are thinking about primarily is purely the number of calories in certain foods, as opposed to their nutritional quality and what they're actually going to do to your body in terms of overall health. So people will always say, yeah, you can actually lose fat and build a ton of muscle and get an aesthetic physique on eating McDonald's, KFC, Krispy Kreme, because all they're concerned about is the number of calories in certain foods. If they see 2 Big Mac meals equals 2,000 calories, then if that's what they eat, that is putting them in a calorie deficit. But it overlooks so many things, and let me just tell you why. So food quality is important because if you're eating natural, clean, unprocessed foods, those foods are naturally lower in calorie. So you're going to be able to arrive at a calorie deficit much more sustainably when you're eating foods that are clean because they're lower in calorie. The second thing is that clean foods are way more satiating than processed foods. So if you're going to eat 100 grams of chicken breast, that is 165 calories. If you got that 165 calories from McDonald's fries, then you are, of course, going to be way fuller after eating chicken breast versus McDonald's fries. And sure, they're the same amount of calories, but if you have the chicken breast, you are not going to be prone to wanting to eat more food because you're full, because you're satiated. But if you have the fries, you're going to want more fries, more fries, more fries, more burgers, because you're not satisfied. You're still hungry after eating them. And that leads me to the point where the foods that are processed are way more addictive in nature because of the ingredients that go into them. So these foods are designed to be highly palatable, meaning that you want to come back for more and more and more. It's like when you put a packet of chips in front of you. You think to yourself, okay, I'll just limit myself to like 5 chips. So you have 5 and you're like, oh, it's just there. And then you keep eating. And next thing you know, you've eaten the whole packet. Whereas if that was a packet of chicken breast, you're not going to want to continue eating it because it doesn't have those same ingredients that go into it because it's a natural unprocessed food. And when you're not prone to eating that addictive way, then of course you're going to consume less calories and much more easily arrive at a calorie deficit to lose fat. The other thing that eating highly processed foods does to you is ruin your energy and hormone levels. So I just want to explain fully the importance of having healthy testosterone levels as a male that wants to build muscle and lose fat and actually attain a muscular and lean physique. Testosterone is so important. Look at the bodybuilders. They will literally inject themselves with this stuff so that they can win bodybuilding competitions, because that is how important testosterone is to muscle growth and fat loss. If you have low levels of testosterone, you are operating with such a handicap, because every time you step into the gym, you can do the exact same workout as someone that has high testosterone, and the person with high testosterone will crush you every single day of the week in terms of building muscle and losing fat. But you can increase your testosterone levels by eating clean foods. The number one reason why testosterone levels are so low in some men is because they just eat processed foods all of the time. They eat junk food, they eat McDonald's. They eat these foods that contain these ingredients that are so unnatural and processed. Things like seed oils literally cause inflammation in your gut, testes, and brain, and that is lowering your testosterone levels. Not to mention all the other garbage ingredients that go into these types of foods. So if you have low testosterone, you are operating with a handicap. And the easiest way to increase your testosterone, the most important thing that you can do for your testosterone levels, is to eat clean, unprocessed, natural foods. That means looking at a type of food, thinking, is this naturally occurring on the earth? And if it is, you can eat it. If it's not, like an Oreo or like chocolate, then don't eat it. I went through a period where I was wanting to eat more calories to try and build muscle. And as part of that, what I did was eat highly processed foods because they had more calories in them. And so I thought, okay, I want to bulk up, I want to build more muscle, let's just eat everything. What happened was I gained no muscle. I, for sure, experienced declines in my energy levels and in my testosterone levels. I gained a heap of body fat and gained literally no muscle. Every time I went to the gym, I felt sluggish. I felt tired. Every time I would wake up, I literally had issues getting out of bed. I was so tired that I could not muster up the courage to just get out of bed in the morning. But now, having transitioned to eating clean, natural all of the time, I wake up at 5 a.m. every day and I'm energetic. I want to get out of bed. I spring out of bed, I wake up and I feel energized and rested. As opposed to if I were to eat processed junk, I would wake up, my alarm would go off, and I'd be like, oh my God, holy crap, I cannot get out of bed today. And just think, if you were energized every time you wake up, you are all the more likely to actually train in the gym. And not just train, but train hard to failure, which is actually going to increase your muscle mass. Compared to if you get out of bed, you are tired, and you can't even get to the gym, then who's going to get better results? It's the guy that's eating clean foods all the time. And people will literally get mad at me for telling them this advice, because what it means is that you have to put in more effort. You don't have an excuse now to say that, oh yeah, like junk food is okay every now and again. Balance is key. But think about this. I'm literally encouraging you to eat clean all of the time. And you know that if you were to eat clean 100% of the time, then that is when you would get the best results. Like, you simply just know that. But instead, you will hate on me for wanting what's best for you, because what it means is you no longer have an excuse to have a cheat meal once a week. There are guys on this platform that will say that. They will say, yeah, balance is key. You can have a burger every Saturday night. You can have a pizza, yeah, like twice a week, that's fine. These guys do not have your best interests at heart. They are literally telling you to eat things that are going to worsen your results. So just remember, I am telling you the things you need to know. You might not like to hear them, but I have your best interests at heart. So if you are looking for a dedicated assistant and all of the knowledge to actually do the right things with your nutrition and diet to drop body fat in 3 months' time, check out my program. That is the link in the description below. So the second thing you need to know is that fat loss, sure, that is the threshold issue, but muscle growth is also key. So when I first started cutting, being in calorie deficits and dropping body fat, I was not training in the gym and building muscle. So sure, I dropped 10 kilos of weight, but I had really nothing to show for it because I wasn't training in the gym and I had no underlying muscle on my frame to actually show off. And I only actually got visible abs after having started training consistently in the gym. And when you actually commit to like full body workout programs or something like a push-pull legs split, that is when you actually see some ab growth. Because in those heavy compound exercises like bench press, deadlifts, squats, heavy rows, those are all indirectly working your core and your abs. Because when you're moving heavy weights, your core always has to work to stabilize your body. It's not just your back that's working on rows. It's not just your legs that are working on squats. Your core is always working to keep your body stabilized. And so you don't actually have to commit to dedicated ab training like crunches or like leg raises to see ab definition. Because your abs will get indirect growth from hitting just full body workouts. And naturally, your physique will just improve overall when you commit to going to the gym and training all of your other muscle groups. It's exactly what happened to me in literally just 2 months. However, while I do believe you can definitely get abs whilst not training abs specifically, I would still recommend that you do train abs. Because as you can see, you can have abs, but they can be weak abs. You can see just the transformation from these two photos that my abs have gotten a lot blockier. They've gotten a lot thicker, way more defined. And my body fat percentages in these two photos are probably quite similar. The level of fat is similar. Yet in one photo, my abs are way more defined than the other. And the reason is because my abs have grown. And if you want to grow your abs even more so that they are blockier, more defined, and they are muscular abs as opposed to skinny abs, then that is when you should introduce some dedicated form of ab training into your routine. And that's when things like crunches and hanging leg raises can come in and assist you. But for the most part, you can literally get abs just by doing normal push-pull leg split or upper lower split without actually doing dedicated ab training. And I outline the training splits that you should be doing to get abs in my program below. So if you learned anything from this video, please consider subscribing. We're getting to 20K subs soon, and I will see you in the next one.